The first 3 months of your baby's life are not a waiting period. The brain is already working, processing faces, voices, textures, and light at a pace that will never be matched again. What you do during this window directly shapes the neural connections being built right now. You don't need equipment, you don't need a curriculum, you need to know which interactions actually move the needle, and why. In this video, you'll learn 5 activities that support your baby's cognitive, motor, and social development from birth to 3 months now, and exactly how to do each one. If this channel is new to you, subscribe. We publish new videos every week on infant development and behavior, based on current scientific evidence. Number 1. Tummy time. Tummy time is the single most recommended developmental activity for newborns, and it is also the most skipped, because most newborns hate it at first. Here is what is happening biologically. When a baby is placed on their stomach while awake and supervised, they are forced to activate the muscles of the neck, shoulders, and upper back to lift and control their head. This muscle group is the foundation for every subsequent motor milestone: rolling, sitting, crawling, and eventually standing. Without regular tummy time, these muscles develop more slowly, and the downstream milestones are delayed. Tummy time also counteracts the flattening of the skull that can occur from extended time on the back, a condition called positional plagiocephaly. Back sleeping is essential and non-negotiable for safety. Supervised tummy time while awake balances that by providing the necessary load on the anterior muscle chain. Start immediately. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends beginning tummy time from the first days of life. In the first weeks, 2 to 3 sessions of 3 to 5 minutes each per day is sufficient. The goal by 3 months is 30 minutes of cumulative tummy time per day, spread across multiple sessions. If your baby protests, and they likely will, you have 2 practical options. First, try tummy time on your chest rather than the floor. Place the baby face down on your torso while you recline at an angle. This counts as tummy time and is often easier for very young babies to tolerate. Second, make sessions short and end them before the baby reaches full distress. Gradually extend the duration as tolerance builds. The goal is consistent repetition, not endurance. Get down to floor level during tummy time. Eye contact and a familiar voice from in front of the baby give them a reason to lift their head. That motivation matters. Number 2. Face-to-face interaction. The human face is the most powerful stimulus in a newborn's visual environment. Research on newborn visual preference consistently shows that infants orient toward face-like configurations from the first hours of life. This is not learned behavior. It is built into the architecture of the newborn brain. From birth, your baby is studying your face. They are tracking your eyes, mapping the relationship between your lip movements and the sounds you produce, and beginning to encode the emotional information carried in your facial expressions. Every session of sustained face-to-face contact is a data collection event for a brain that is building its model of human communication from scratch. Practical implementation is simple. Position your face approximately 8 to 12 inches from your baby's face. This is the range at which newborn vision is sharpest. Make eye contact. Hold it. Talk slowly and with slightly exaggerated intonation. This is the speech register researchers call infant-directed speech, and it is not just instinctive, it is functional. The slower pace, higher pitch, and extended vowels of infant-directed speech are easier for the developing auditory system to parse and have been linked to better language outcomes. Pause after you speak. Give the baby time to respond, a facial movement, a sound, a gaze shift. This turn-taking structure is the earliest form of conversation. The baby is learning that communication is bidirectional before they have a single word. Introduce facial expressions deliberately. Stick out your tongue slowly and hold it. Many babies as young as 2 weeks will attempt to mirror this. Open your mouth wide and pause. Change your expression from neutral to smiling and watch the baby's response. These micro-interactions build the social mirroring circuitry that underlies empathy, imitation, and eventually language. Number 3. Tracking and visual stimulation. At birth, the visual system is the least developed of all the senses. Newborns see clearly at a range of roughly 8 to 12 inches. Everything beyond that is blurry. Color vision is limited. Contrast is what the newborn visual system responds to most strongly. High-contrast black and white patterns activate the visual cortex more powerfully than color in the first weeks of life because they produce a stronger signal along the underdeveloped neural pathways from the eye to the brain. This activation is what drives visual cortex development. More stimulation of the right kind means faster maturation of the visual system. From birth to approximately 6 weeks, Use high-contrast images, simple geometric patterns, bold stripes, concentric circles, placed within your baby's clear visual range. These can be printed cards, a black and white picture book held nearby, or a high-contrast mobile positioned appropriately above the diaper changing area or play space. The images should be close enough to be in focus. Around 6 to 8 weeks, you'll notice a significant change. The baby begins to track a moving object with their eyes. This is the skill to develop next. Hold a high-contrast object, a black and white card, a bright solid color toy, about 10 to 12 inches from the baby's face. Once they lock onto it, move it slowly to one side. Watch their eyes follow, move back to center, move to the other side. Tracking requires the coordination of both eyes and activates the neural pathways linking visual input to motor planning. By 3 months, most babies can track an object through a full 180-degree arc and begin to show interest in color as the color vision system matures. Short, engaged sessions are more effective than prolonged exposure. 2 to 3 minutes of active tracking is more developmentally useful than 20 minutes of passive visual exposure to a mobile the baby has stopped attending to. Number 4. Talking, narrating, and singing. Language acquisition begins before a single word is spoken. In the first 3 months, your baby is building the auditory foundation that all future language sits on, the ability to distinguish phonemes, detect the rhythm and intonation patterns of their native language, and associate sounds with meaning and emotional context. None of this requires you to teach. It requires you to talk, narrate your day, describe what you are doing as you do it, changing a diaper, preparing a bottle, walking to another room. The content is less important than the exposure. Your baby's brain is extracting statistical patterns from the sounds you produce. Which sounds cluster together, which sequences recur, what prosodic shape the language takes. This pattern extraction is how the brain builds the phonological map it will later use to produce speech. Respond to your baby's sounds as though they are turns in a conversation. When the baby vocalizes, a coo, a gurgle, any intentional sound, respond immediately with words or sounds of your own. Then pause. This is not performance. This contingent responsiveness, your reaction reliably following their action, teaches the baby that their communication has effect. That lesson is the motivational engine behind language development. Singing is particularly effective because it provides the prosodic structure of language, rhythm, pitch variation, and phrase boundaries in a highly repetitive, predictable package. The repetition is not boring to the developing brain. It is exactly what the brain needs to extract and reinforce patterns. A small set of songs sung consistently gives the baby repeated exposure to the same phonological sequences, which strengthens the underlying neural representation of those sounds. Physical proximity during talking and singing amplifies the effect. Your voice combined with your face, your smell, and physical contact creates a multi-sensory experience that binds the auditory input to a broader emotional and relational context, which is precisely the context in which language is learned. Number 5. Skin-to-skin contact. Skin-to-skin contact, the practice of placing an undressed baby against a caregiver's bare chest, has one of the strongest evidence bases of any intervention in early infant care. Its effects are documented across multiple physiological and developmental systems. In the newborn period, skin-to-skin contact stabilizes heart rate, respiratory rate, and body temperature. It reduces the cortisol stress response. It supports the regulation of blood glucose. These are not minor effects. In the first days of life, they contribute directly to the baby's physiological stability, while the autonomic nervous system is still developing its own self-regulation capacity. Beyond the neonatal period, the mechanism of action shifts toward attachment and neurodevelopmental benefit. The physical warmth, the caregiver's heartbeat and breathing rhythm, and the familiar smell of the caregiver's skin are all inputs that activate the baby's calm and connection system, the parasympathetic nervous system, and reduce activation of the stress response system. A baby whose stress response system is chronically underactivated develops better self-regulation capacity over time. Skin-to-skin also directly supports brain development. Research on premature infants, where the effects are most measurable, shows that extended skin-to-skin contact is associated with differences in cortical development, autonomic nervous system maturation, and cognitive outcomes that persist into school age. These effects are not exclusive to premature infants. They represent the amplification of a mechanism that is active in all healthy newborns. The practical implementation is straightforward. Hold your baby chest to chest, their skin against yours, in any quiet position that is safe and comfortable for both of you. This can happen during feeding, during a calm awake period, or during sleep while you are awake and alert. It requires no equipment, no scheduling, and no specific duration. More is better. There is no upper limit. The first 3 months require nothing elaborate. Face-to-face contact, your voice, tummy time on a consistent schedule, visual tracking with high-contrast objects, and physical closeness. These 5 inputs work with the developmental blueprint your baby already has. The brain does the rest. The free guide in the description maps out all developmental milestones from birth to 12 months, what to expect in each phase, and when to seek professional guidance. Download it and keep it as your reference. The next video on this channel covers sleep regressions, what they are, when they happen, and how to get through them without losing the routine you've built. Watch it next.